Alright, NVIDIA is going to 130 this week, and here's why. But before I get into it, none of this is financial advice. And if you guys are in the Discord, you already know what the plan is. But I'm going to go break it down why I took the position I took today, what's going on with NVIDIA, and why I think it's going to go to 130 this week. So if you guys want to join the Discord, the link is in the bio. We're doing hundreds of percent every day, and I'm already anticipating a 100% move on NVIDIA here. So I'm going to break it down with you guys, so hope you guys enjoy. Alright, so before I get into it, let's just look at NVIDIA on a macro perspective. First of all, yes, NVIDIA had a breakdown starting from June 20th, right? So 2 weeks ago almost. And that was that big candle. It hit the top here and then, had a big rejection, a few red days. And now it just went sideways throughout since last week. So as of right now, yes, NVIDIA, you could look at it as a potential bearish setup here, right? You got a bit of a head and shoulders look here. And, a lot of the bears were trying to push NVIDIA down past a few of these key levels here. But just again, from the macro, look at the daily candle today. It closed as a hammer. When a hammer candle is formed on a downtrend, that is a sign of a potential reversal. And that is just one confluence. Just keep that in mind, guys. And just keep in mind, guys, anything I'm saying could get invalidated. I know I'm bullish right now on NVIDIA. I might be biased because of my position, but I have a lot of good reasoning behind it, and therefore I took the position that I took. But getting back right into it, the daily hammer candle here is a bullish indicator. And let me just pull up my lines here so you guys can see exactly what we're looking at. Well, before I get into my lines here, look at this bearish gap that was formed from NVIDIA when it broke down here. This reddish box over here is this gap. So right now, NVIDIA has come and tested it, rejected it, tested it, and just kept rejecting it. And then until today, where NVIDIA had this dip all the way down to 118 area, and then quickly buyers bought it back up, and now it's retesting this gap. So getting into the chart here, now let me pull up my lines here. As you guys can see, I'm looking for NVIDIA to basically fill this gap by this week, maybe in a few days. Keep in mind the macroeconomic data that's coming out. We got Jerome Powell at 9:30 a.m. tomorrow, Tuesday, and then FOMC minutes is on Wednesday. So there could definitely be some volatility, but just something to keep in mind if you're going to play the NVIDIA setup here, as we're already in the setup or in the Discord. But let me go down into the micro here. And I mentioned this in the Discord to you guys, that NVIDIA, when this dragonfly printed, that was another bullish indicator. This is a dragonfly doji. This is a again, on a downtrend, when you see a dragonfly or a hammer type of candle, it's an indication that buyers are potentially looking to send this thing higher, right? They're looking for a reversal. These are reversal types candles, and you got to keep in mind that if it's coming in a downtrend, then it's the likelihood of a reversal is greater. So because of this dragonfly doji that was created, I have this dark pool level here, this 123.54. This 123.54 level, there's a lot of these purple lines that you see, those are dark pool levels. Those are where the big dark pool prints have occurred, where, these are things that go under the radar that retail investors, like most people, cannot see. So these are levels that I gather and I put it on the chart so you can see exactly where those big dark pool prints are happening. They're literally orders that go literally under the radar, as I mentioned, and that if you know where they are, they can act as support and resistance. So that's the idea here. So when this dragonfly candle was printed, you can see that this candle closed above this dark pool level here. So basically it was a resistance flip, right? So now this resistance, this dark pool level has become support, and as you can see, as NVIDIA closed today, it closed above that dark pool level. But then there's another dark pool level up here. What about that one? Well, that's what we're trying to get over now. That's the next one to get over. But let me go down into further micro levels here, and let me explain to you why I entered the position that I entered. First of all, I entered at just before 11:28 a.m. We took those 1:30 calls for this week, July 7th. And again, very close expiry. It's a weekly, I understand. But again, my reasoning is based off of what I'm just explaining to you guys right now. This area, this 118 area, is a key demand zone, right? So there's a lot of activity over here, and what did NVIDIA do over here? Dipped down and then caught that bounce. That's when it dipped this morning, caught it, and this is the 61865. This is the golden pocket here that also added as a confluence that it caught a bounce on. So now this area is holding as demand, right? Bears needed that break today. They did not get it. It caught the bounce. So this area is holding like a rock right now, and now currently this 123, which all of last week was acting as key support, broke today, but now guess what? It's back into a support area. So now this area, this 123.40, 123.50 is acting as demand, right? So now because no longer supply, it's going to act as demand, meaning if it dips down, buyers are likely to, again, if it's supply and demand, right, at the end of the day, and if it dips back into a demand area, buyers have the opportunity to add into their positions, and if there's enough buyers, obviously the price is going to go up from here. So now what we're looking at on NVIDIA, and you guys can see what I drew here. I'll go even more smaller, right? I'm going to go in the 15-minute. NVIDIA is printing this ascending triangle pattern. So what is this ascending triangle? Let me remove this lines here. Ascending triangle is a bullish pattern. Basically, ascending triangle is you get this bit of a consolidation on an uptrend, right? So you have basically these higher lows that are being created, and then you have this sort of a top that's being made that keeps getting tested. As you guys can see from here, there was test here, and now, we didn't get the breakout. I was looking for a break. If we got over this 124.30, this dark pool level, we could have probably tested for a breakout, which would have looked better for NVIDIA, but it's fine. Like we're still in a good decent setup here for a potential breakout. And again, a lot of this is going to vary based on what's happening with SPY, what's happening with QQQ, what's happening with VIX. You guys know how I'm tracking all of that in the Discord and keeping everybody updated. So as of right now, we need to see NVIDIA get above 124. Basically, it was 124.70 level, 120. If you can clear NVIDIA 125 and hold it, that would be great. And again, looking into tomorrow, you got this key area. Look at all of this test. The big time demand area. I don't think it can break below. Again, anything can always happen, right? I joked to you guys about my 90% law, and that's really just based off of a heavy amount of TA that I'm doing based off of multiple levels of confluence. There's always a chance, regardless of how much of an A+ setup something can be, there's always a chance it may not work out. You guys have been following along. I'm not afraid if this play does not work out. The reason why is that you guys have been seeing, right? We've been doing multiple hundreds of percent back after back after back, day after day. And even if this goes to zero, hypothetically, right, it wouldn't bother me at all. And I hope you guys can understand that type of trading, right, where you have high win percentage rates. And high win rate, high percentage rate is what we're aiming for in the Discord. And that's why I wasn't concerned when NVIDIA was down, 20-30% throughout this consolidation period today. I'm still trading my plan, right? And as long as I haven't seen a close under this 123 demand zone, which I kept repeating, 123 under is going to be the risk. versus the reward. So let me show you guys the reward here, right? The risk to reward profile. If I'm going to draw this out from, where did we enter? 11:30, right? So maybe right around here I think we entered. This is going to be the risk. Very simple, right? I want to see it close under, if I can get this thing to line up here. Yeah, right over here. If we can get a close, this is the risk, right? Pretty much under 123. And look at this reward. I told you guys my conservative, well, not conservative, but my personal price targets is as high as 129. Basically, this gap fill, this fib, this 0.5 fib, this 129.40 level is where my first ideal target is going to be. And look at that. It's already almost 5-to-1 risk to reward. Really good risk to reward play here, right? If we're targeting even 130, that's pretty much you're over 5-to-1 at that point. And if you're going to target this 132, which again I think I gave you guys the range, 129 to 132 is a good profit area, then you're looking at almost a 7-to-1 risk to reward. Okay, so that's the target. Okay, that's a gap fill here. And you know you got your 130. That's going to be your psychological number that could, again, you never know what's going to happen, right? So always manage risk. But if you're going to take profit along the way, these are your next levels. There's big dark pool level at 126.09, and it's very key. The 126 to 126.71 is going to be a very key zone to clear, because then there is going to be this level of 127.84 that's going to be tested. But basically, you know, I already drew a extension over here. Well, yeah, basically, yeah. If there's this dark pool level that you guys need to know, that 126 is going to act as a key resistance. That's number one step. If you're gonna take profit on NVDA, this could be a first target. And then again, personally, I'm looking out for 129 to 130. But again, just I digress from that. I just wanted to mainly show you the risk to reward on that. You want to take plays that have really good risk to reward, right? Even if this goes down here, maybe it'll be, I don't know, worst case scenario, let's say 50-60% loss. So what? 60% loss versus 100% after 100% after 200% after 200% winners. Does that really bother you that much when you're winning at that type of percentage win rate, right? Versus, you know, most people, they just get scared and they sell at 20-30%. And again, everybody's risk management is different, but this is the way we trade at in the only subs, right? And I want everybody to be as profitable as possible, understanding that why I take a lot of these trades, and it's because of a lot of multiple factors, bullish confluences in this case that I look at. So that's really the play for NVIDIA. Downside, honestly, I'm going to talk to you about the downside risk, right? Like, if NVIDIA does break below this 123, right, that's pretty much your demand zone being rejected, and then it's going to be turned into a supply zone. At that point, here are your options. You look for either a hedge or just close out your call and go short. Simple plan. Your short is going to target this 118, and if this 118 is broken, and again, this is a very key area by itself as well, then you're looking at this trend line, as I mentioned to you guys before in my previous video, right? This support trend line that's coming back from there could get tested at 114, 115. And then look at the head and shoulder pattern, right? As I mentioned earlier, look at that right there. And then this would be your right shoulder forming, and an H pattern that's going to form on this pullback here. And then you're going to make a new low, and then NVIDIA is not going to look good at that point. It's going to look like a pretty bearish setup, and then you could look to short it from then on and see how it goes. But as of right now, I'm just talking about the week, right? I'm not looking at, beyond that. Right now, NVIDIA looks bullish just based off of everything I've said. And if nothing here makes sense to you, that's okay. because it makes sense to me. And if you guys are following the plan, if you guys have been following my trades, I know a lot of you guys have been banking on a lot of the call outs, and I'm happy for you guys. But my goal for you guys is to learn and see how I'm looking at things, even though I may not go into detail breaking it down like this during the moment that I get in. This is exactly what I'm looking at. Alright, so I hope this video explains why I'm in the video, why I think 130 is coming this week. If it doesn't come this week, don't even be mad, because there's always that risk, right? So hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys next time.